There are actually people in my comments telling me that Jasmine Crockett is fighting for my civil rights. I'm an American. How is her fighting for illegals fighting for my civil rights?
Jasmine Crockett done lost her dang mind, and I was so excited I had to come and run and tell you. Like, did she just admit to something shady on national television?
I'm sure some dark money gonna pour in on the behalf of the American people.
Donald Trump, she's ready for her audit. No, like literally, she just admitted to some sketchy...
That there are donors that I'm sure are going to be willing to make sure that they are investing and making sure that they can take down some of these candidates since they don't want to rule out dark money. So what I am saying is every tactic, as well as making sure we're touching people.
I don't think she's very smart. Yeah, she made it through law school somehow, but like if you're good at memorizing, you can pretty much make it through anything. The girl just isn't so smart, because who the F says that out loud? Like, you are on national television. And please, for the love of everything, Jasmine Crockett, do not touch people. People don't like when you do that. But what is this dark money she is speaking about? Could it have anything to do with Act Blue? Because I'm pretty sure there's some connections there. So yeah, she said it herself. She stood on her business. So let's go look into her finances. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments, and this is just for entertainment.
Yes, Jasmine just got up there with her dollar store latches, word vomit brain, and cocky little smear, and said with a straight face that dark money is now some kind of righteous weapon on behalf of the American people. Are you serious? That is a question a lot of people are asking on social media. When I look at the reactions people pour on this video, it clearly tells me a lot of people are concerned with what this lady is doing. It's insane to even say this on TV. I don't know if the Trump administration is paying attention to these people. So there are people that are standing there to put in money for this. Hey. Extremely concerning, right? I have a couple of videos to show you what she said today. But before I do that, I want to remind you of something. Take a look at this.
We should expect them to do criminal things. This is somebody who is a con man and a convict. And so, unfortunately, we have seen him misuse, things such as pardons, where it looks like there's a bit of pay for play. And so I absolutely fully anticipate that he may most likely offer her a get out of jail free card if she just fails to disclose certain things, or if she decides to say certain other things, right? But I do think that, considering the fact that she probably is the only person who was really intimately engaged with all levels of or the vast majority of criminality, she is the person that can discredit or credit any information. This president has not been able to wield the level of influence and power that he is wielding without the help of so many minions, including the speaker, but not limited to. Let's not forget this amazing attorney general that we have, who also has been speaking out of both sides of her mouth. So, you know what? There's not very many things that are bipartisan. In this Congress, ever since the Republicans have had control of the House, there's not been very many things that are bipartisan, but in a very bipartisan way, we are absolutely pushing for the release of these files. And that is why the speaker is having to do cartwheels in order to prevent a number of his members from taking votes that they really can't square with their voters. And he's hoping that the news cycle will blow over the next month as we are on recess, and we can come back and everybody's like, Jeffrey Epstein who? I think that I would trust this process more than I would trust the Department of Justice. Right. Kind of deciding that they're going to interview her and then ultimately potentially sanitizing the information that we get, or potentially engaging in some type of threats, or potentially offering a pardon if certain things were said, right? Or not said, So we obviously don't have pardons to offer. And if for some reason there is testimony that takes place, it would take place and both sides would be able to participate. So ultimately, I actually have to say I would applaud Tim Burchett for attempting to get this done prior to the Department of Justice engaging in this type of conversation, because I don't know what may happen to that witness if the administration gets to her first.
This ghetto Democrat is not having it. A day ago, Pam Bondi posted this. U.S. Attorney Haba has been doing a great job in making New Jersey safe again. Nonetheless, politically minded judges refuse to allow her to continue in her position, replacing Alina with the first assistant. Accordingly, the first assistant United States Attorney in New Jersey has just been removed. This Department of Justice does not tolerate rogue judges, especially when they threaten the president's core Article 2 powers. Hmm? When you take a look at this, Jasmine replied to this tweet. This is what unethical and retaliatory behavior looks like. Something tells me that the lifetime non political appointed judges will win this battle. That is her response to this video. He sat down with this guy. They had to talk about what they have been singing now, like a song. Extremely concerned.
They're talking about they're starting to cheat. They've been cheating. Right now, we should be in power. We should be the ones that are controlling the House. We should be the ones that have the ability to subpoena Elon Musk. We should be the ones that have the ability to subpoena something. They don't want the truth to come out. They are so far from being interested in transparency. And frankly, we know that the Republicans have abdicated their duties as relates to those in the House as well as the Senate. And they know we won't back down. So I got news for them. As they sit up here and think that they're about to win, let me tell you, they are playing the game known as the biggest loser. And the biggest one sits in the White House, and baby, the baby loser right here is down there below them. They will lose because the people are speaking out and they are showing up. It is the same reason the Republicans don't want to go into their districts and talk to the people, because they know that their policies are loser policies. They are losers. I'm going to tell you, if it's one group of people that's not going to lose, it is going to be us, because we are going to fight this every step of the way. And so I want to thank those governors that have already made it clear that if you want to fight fire with fire, we got something for you. So thank you to Gavin Newsom, who said, play with Texas if you want to, because we can play with California.
They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say we are going to dilute minority voices. So we know that the courts, ever since we've had a Voting Rights Act, have always found this state to be intentionally discriminatory. That is what they are going to do. So I need people of color to understand that the scheme of the Republicans has consistently been to make sure that they mute our voices so that they can go ahead and have an oversized say in this. So I fully anticipate that's exactly where they're going with this map. It's the only way to do it. We didn't understand how we got to the map that they gave us last time, because that state was grown by 95% people of color. They went out of their way to make sure that we got 0 new seats for people of color.
If you weigh this issue of fights on both sides, you realize at the end of the day, it will affect Democrats in a way that they won't even realize Republicans are silent, observing what exactly they're doing. For the past 4 years with Biden, nobody was talking about fights. Okay, the MAGA movement raised this up recently, and it triggered a lot of people to react. Trump administration to Pam actually blunder off in handling this. Along the way, Democrats saw the loophole and came in now to have the moral grounds to talk about this. They are in no position to even be voicing this because they had the opportunity to do the right thing. If there was something really there, why is it that they didn't or they didn't put out publicly? Trump administration with Pam Bondi took a decision the other day, seeking that Obama Joyce rejected, disapproved that they should not release everything. They should not release anything. So at the end of the day, these people are playing themselves. It is high time people realize the kind of games they are playing. It is insane that in 2025 we're still doing this. They can't win with this strategy if they continue. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. Please, if you see short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm.
Texas is probably the hardest place to vote in the country, just in terms of the paperwork, the requirements, the hoops you got to jump through.
How so, though?
There's a whole host of things. The fact that we don't have online voter registration in this state, when a lot of other states do. I mean, think of all the things you do online. Voter registration is not one of them. The IDs that now count for registering to vote or voting are very selective. So, for instance, you got a concealed carry license. That license counts as ID, which I agree that it should. But a student ID from a college or university doesn't count as an ID.
You have to get a driver's license.
Yeah, you got to go get a driver's license. And again,
what
for
about
someone
passport
like
work,
passport.
Right?
But again, I didn't have a passport for most of my life. Right? I didn't travel outside the country till I was I was in my 30s, and so I didn't have a passport. A lot of people don't have a driver's license, especially older folks. So the point is that these rules get added on top of each other and make it even more difficult. One of the main...
Seven Bridges Road. What a voice. I cried.
Landmines, limitations.
So many rules.
My choices are mine. Making this easy. People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. Line up for my advice.
Going to lionize.
Why? Marriage, infertility.
How hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense. The kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful.
The
Registration Act is
talking about term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Winter does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to...
It's bad.
I need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a level of weight position
or a rent. And so once again,